Our 5-minute break has been exhausted.
The food, we
The
ran out of
next,
food.
we're gonna begin with our new business. The first item is approval of Schnabel Work Order Number 12, Task 2, Proposal for Professional Engineering Services for Spillway Gate Inspections.
All right, this is an item we discussed at the work session. We've got Mr. Dean Lindsay, who is the staff representative this evening for this item. Does anyone have any additional questions? This is for inspection of the spillway and the Tainer gates.
Any more questions? Do
Nope.
I hear a motion then?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Schnabel Work Order Number 12, Task 2, Proposal for Professional Engineering Services for Spillway Gate Inspections.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Work Order Number 12, Task 2, Proposal for Professional Engineering Services for Spillway Gate Inspections passes unanimously. We'll move on to item B, Approval Labella. Task Number 17 for Water System Consolidation.
Yes, ma'am. This is another item that we discussed at our work session. Mr. Dean Lindsay is here if anyone has any questions, but as you see in the town overview, or the overview, we've got 3 separate water zones. This is going to be a consolidation of all the water zones in town, and it will be eliminating our dependency on the Chimney Rock Village water system.
All right, any other discussion?
I just have one question. I'm just trying to remind myself, we probably said this before. So what is the product we're getting out of this? What's the physical product that we're getting?
Dean?
For the system design, right now with the state,
Yeah.
systems are not connected.
Yeah, I know, Dave. Well, what are they actually gonna provide us?
Oh, the drawings,
The drawings that we need for,
drawings, and for the construction, we'll have to add a pressure reducing valve.
okay.
And that's included in this.
All right, so that's all right, so you've got the design, the drawings that'll be ready for submittal for approval by DEQ for,
We'll submit everything, and then once approved, then we will, undertake the construction on the town park.
okay.
They will have the drawings and everything, they will submit it to the state, once approved, then we will be able to start construction.
I thought, was this part of the water system management plan? I thought this was part of that, no? Or is this,
Water system management plans for, Firefly Cove.
yeah, but the water system, didn't the water system management plan have also the interconnect to the downtown and the cross connect?
We have 2 separate systems, 2 separate water system management plans.
Oh, 2 water management, okay. That's what's confusing. I thought when we submitted the water system management plan, it was a comprehensive look at all the water systems for approval from DEQ. And then the design came afterwards. So that's where I'm confused. So that,
That just got passed for the water system management, that was just for Firefly Cove.
okay,
And this would be the one
For-
for Lake Lure, but it'll show the changes and everything for our system.
so just to be clear, is this, when you submit the diagram and all that product, that's just a design for approval, then you have to update the water system management plan, or is the design,
Once we submit everything to the state,
yeah,
everything will be updated.
okay, okay.
That will show the pressure reducing valve and the aeronautical valve to fully utilize the time.
Yeah,
When you say
I was just confused what the difference between the design drawings and the water system management.
And when you
plan.
say everything will update, there will be a physical update to tie everything together.
Yes.
Right.
Now, this is for approve the drawings and the design to get it submitted to the state.
Right.
Once the state approves, then we will be able to start construction.
See, what I don't wanna have happen is what happened in Firefly Cove. We had this revolving, approval thing that delayed us over 2 years to get Firefly Cove going. So, if I'm clear, this design drawing gets submitted for approval, we can go right into construction to make it look like that, and then we'll be able to divorce ourselves. Because we don't have that much time. We have to divorce ourselves by what? By March or April, I would imagine.
End of June.
End of June, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The way it is now, the Firefly, since we've got our approval on the system, everything the Firefly Cove system can supply.
Right.
we have,
Right,
Because we have the 138,000 gallon reservoir capacity.
yeah.
And 2 wells feeding it. It's just when we use the Powers well until it's interconnected to 80, but the Powers well does not have a, basically an expansion tank.
How's Firefly's online now, right, all the wells?
No, well, we've got the well number 2 in, we're waiting on the bacteriological test and the nitrates test. And then before we complete it out, we were getting well number 1, which is online now, we're getting it replaced. Once that's done, then we'll do drawdown test and everything is physically complete.
Within the next, what, 60 days?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Next week, we're hoping to have the current well replaced with the new one. Then we'll do a 24-hour drawdown test, and that's to complete all the testing required by the state.
So when you drop a loader bucket for this stuff right here, this new connect, how long do you think it'll take you to do that?
Paperwork, I cannot say with the deal with the state, that shouldn't.
Forget that, construction. The day you drop,
All we have, we know where the line is, it's one vault, one valve. We just have to get the lead
Yeah.
time for the valve.
okay.
I mean, part of this is my frustration with the state. We did a drawdown test, right? We did a drawdown test of the well, but because of the bureaucracy that we had to do to get the water system management plan approved, we got out of periodicity, and now we have to do another drawdown, right? Test.
No, the drawdown test we did, we had.
Yeah.
But the planning and review board for the state looked at the drawdown results and said it wasn't consistent in the last 4 hours, therefore they're requiring us to do a new one.
Okay.
Let's move on. All right, so,
Thank
do I
you,
hear
Dean.
a-
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Labella Task 17 for water system consolidation.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then Labella Task 17 for water system consolidation passes unanimously. We'll move on to item 3, approval of the Ruby Collins Agreement Amendment.
Yes, ma'am. This item was discussed at length at our work session as well. We've got Mr. Michael Didula here with us. This is going to mainly be an amendment with the design-build contract with Ruby Collins to add an additional $550,000 that will go into designing for, I guess, the next 2 drawdown periods.
Correct.
Yep. Mike, you have any more detail to add to it?
Yep, it's just when the lake's down, we're gonna be out there with boots and boats and
Yeah.
start doing design stuff for the future couple of years.
So this is really gonna cover down on, once they start the construction, they're ready to go, and then they have to design build as they're going along, and this is gonna cover us for about 2 years, this amount of money?
24 and 25, it looks like.
That's what that's what I said.
Okay.
The majority of that is fee going to the engineers, so they can start walking the site,
Yeah,
got most of the survey.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
when they hit the ground running in the future.
And
yeah.
So, for my question too, we'll end up with a 2-year worth of work plan when they finish.
That's what I'm pushing for, yes.
Okay, and that'll tie it back to the wastewater treatment plant. What I'm interested in that, as a part of that, is to be able to get that last mile, so we can identify that for future funding requests with the state of North Carolina.
Right.
It'll be 2 years, because reminder, the design build contract ends in 2026. So we're trying to get, we'll renegotiate that.
Right.
Yeah.
Likely we're gonna keep using them, but, we're trying to get as much done under this
Okay.
And I think that everybody knows this too, is because this is part of our ARPA money and the Third Amendment in the design build, it will be forwarded to DEQ for their approval as well.
Right.
Yeah.
They got it, yeah, okay.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve Ruby Collins Agreement Amendment 03 for the,
Second?
I'll second it. Okay.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Then, the Ruby Collins Agreement Amendment number 3 is approved unanimously. We'll move on to item D, ordinance number 23-12-12B, establishing a capital reserve fund for sewer. Is that either you or Steve?
I can handle it to begin with here.
I think we've already discussed it.
Yeah, it
at
is. It was
length.
discussed at our work session. At the work session, we talked about the purpose and need of this being a capital infused reserve that will fund in today's dollars instead of relying on future loan dollars to fund sewer systems. The plan as discussed at the work session would be, our annual contribution would be $400,000 per year for it. What we've got going on now with this resolution is going to establish it at a $400,000 contribution beginning the next fiscal year. We are going to seed it with $50,000 this evening. I'll let Steve answer to anybody's specific questions, but we are going to identify the funds available to be able to catch the fund up for all monies that should have been put in it to date. That number is not yet
Good luck with that.
determined at this point. So we're gonna start with approving the resolution for this fund, for funds to be started in next fiscal year, 400,000, and then we're going to seed it with 50,000. Okay?
All right, any other questions, discussion? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 23-12-12B, establishing a capital reserve fund for sewer.
Second?
A second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 23-12-12B, establishing a capital reserve fund for the sewer, passes unanimously. We'll move on to item E, budget amendment number 362 for the capital reserve fund for sewer.
Yeah.
So that's just the
That's the
This is,
50.
and I'll ask Steve too, I think we had talked to this, might be a typo in here, we had this transfers from the general fund.
Yes, I'm sorry, it must be a typo. It
Okay.
wouldn't be from the water fund, I
Okay.
apologize.
Yep, okay.
I'm gonna look at Mr. Moore.
Yeah, it'd have to be from the water fund.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's got it, okay, I'm sorry, it transferred from, water fund, but I do have the account 53,398,600, that
So
is.
we've got the
that is
right
from
account
Fund
number.
53.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have a typo down here.
I apologize.
Okay.
Your account number's right.
Yes,
Just
sir,
your-
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this one ties in with the previous. I'll make the motion to approve budget amendment number 362 for capital reserve fund for sewer, with the account name to be noted, transfer from water sewer fund.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Budget amendment number 362 for capital reserve fund for sewer passes unanimously. We'll move on then to item F, which is a budget amendment number 363 for public safety radios, and this is something that was not discussed,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
This
Steve,
is
you
gonna,
want- oh, go ahead.
Dustin is not with us right now.
He wanted me to, he was called on an
Yeah.
emergency call,
Right.
and he just said that
Right.
he feels like Hank can.
Yeah, and I'll give you the high-level Cliff's notes on it. We received quite recently the need to identify certain older radios within our emergency management system
Yeah.
for the fire department. They need to be updated. So without knowing specifically the amount of radios that be done across all departments, we've got a $20,000 placeholder for getting the older units updated, but that needs to be done prior to the end of the calendar year. So hence why we have this for you this evening.
Oh, so you're putting money there, and then they'll figure out what they need to do to upgrade it?
We're gonna get a conservative amount of money, but
Okay.
the only amount that will be spent is the amount of money necessary to update the radios that need to be updated.
They're trying to figure out which radios are gonna be covered.
Right
and which
now,
are not.
but they're required to do it by the end of
Yes,
2023.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
these-
the ones
the-
that are expired.
These are all town radios or just emergency services?
They are going to be, all emergency services, but we've got some in Parks and Rec and, the fire department.
Fire,
Yeah,
police.
and
Yeah.
police.
And
Yes.
Parks and Rec has a
Because I know Michael and I think we were at the dam here a couple of weeks back, and we talked about radios,
Yeah.
Those are different radios.
and that you just wanted
These-
another
These
channel.
radios are only the ones that need to have interoperability between emergency
Between-
management
Right.
and our
Perfect.
town services.
Very good.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve budget amendment number 363 for public safety radios.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The budget amendment number 363 for public safety radios passes unanimously. And we'll move to the last item, to discuss the lead service line loan application. Hank?
We're not asking you for anything this evening. We're going to have a resolution on your agenda for the work session next week to ask you to take action then. But I don't want to put something like this ahead of you and explain it and ask for action in the same meeting if I can get away with not doing it. What you're gonna see in here is that, there was a bipartisan infrastructure bill in 22 from the Biden-Harris administration. Along with lots of things, they are placing a requirement across the nation that all, public water systems identify their lead service lines.
Yeah.
The identification needs to be made, both the public and the private lines. What we have here is, in September, the DEQ started announcing the availability of funds that are going to be, she's got it down in the material that was passed out up to you at 0 interest. That's roughly $22 million that's available. It's going to be done on a rolling basis, on a quarterly. We have a deadline that we're trying to hit for January 5th. so that's why they're trying to get it to you now. There are $14 million of this $22 million that is going to be through debt forgiveness, and it's going to be a needs-based disbursement on all of this funds. We don't really have a lot of details on it since it's right out of the gate for it. But none of this relieves the town of Lake Lure, as any other public water supply, with the responsibility by October of '24 to have an inventory of all of the lead service lines for water. We are anticipating that this is a sum of money that technically is a loan. It is not necessarily intended to say that we're going to use all $1 million of this. We're going to do a lot of the identification ourselves for it, with our own staff, using years of construction for when lead service lines were used and when they were not. And for what we need to hire contractors for, this loan, I guess this amount that we're able to tap into will be available, but we're not going to necessarily be using $1 million worth of loan for it.
You can't, it's not fungible, it has to be done for the survey for lead?
We are trying to develop the inventory, and then in the
Yeah.
future, we will.
We have to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna read the material that there are funds available if we wanted to take $5 million to go
Yeah.
out there and identify and remove the lines.
Right.
Right.
Right now, we're only trying to identify them by the October deadline.
Right.
Then we'll address the removal plans after that, but guidance from the feds is scant at best on this. I don't even
Yeah, so
know how
yeah.
they think we're going to go on private property
Right.
and deal with lead service lines.
Let me ask a
in house.
very basic question, do we think we have lead pipes in Lake Lure?
Very few, but we have no way to verify.
Okay, so,
We have no record.
okay,
So sometimes in years past, the pipes weren't lead, but the joints were.
lead, yeah,
Mhm.
lead
Lead
solder.
So I'm convinced we do have some of those, although
Yeah.
the majority were coming up from Pool Creek, and we don't use that anymore, so.
Right,
So
right.
there, hopefully there's
Right.
not much.
Yeah, okay.
There may be a bunch of houses that still have it though, some of these older homes.
Yeah, but that's not part of this.
No, I mean, that didn't count for us, right?
The service line going through the house,
Right.
and Mr. Proctor's right, a lot of those joints, everything, it's that solder they used on it
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, so we have no action on that tonight. We'll,
No,
we'll-
we're asking you to consider this resolution next week.
right, we'll look at that. But
Can we add it to the?
is it next week or the week after
Yes,
Next
next
week,
week.
18th.
Next Wednesday.
is our work
Yeah,
session?
yeah, before
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And this is just, when we approve this, it'll give you permission to apply. That's what-
Right, and we've
okay.
got an application in the queue, we just need to have the town approve the resolution that will be going with the companion application.
I'm just wondering, why don't we do that now? Why don't we give you permission now to apply? Is it not ready, or?
If, well,
It's actually
I don't think that the resolution is in final form.
Okay, so you gotta get the resolution in final form.
Right.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was
Well,
like-
I mean, the other part is just me, we've got the time to explain it and not feel like people are backed in the corner with a gun to your head on,
Yeah.
please approve it. So that's why
Yeah, I'll
we
read up
take
on
this.
it.
We have plenty of guns to our head, we don't need.
There you go.
I'll read up on it a little bit.
That
Yeah.
being the last item of business on our agenda, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then we
This is-
stand adjourned.
This is what I was looking at, the galvanized service.